Now let's get to the content. Well, welcome back to the channel. So, I was sitting here watching Rap Redefined talking about T.I.'s son and what's going on. So we're going to get into the little content. I'm curious because I'm at that age right now where I'm knocking down a half a century. And my son, he's about to be 20, 21 years old of age, and they just grew up a little bit different than what we do. So I'm interested in seeing what's going on. So I'm going to give y'all a little reaction to what I think. And I'm going to say a few words and hopefully it don't offend nobody, but it's the reality of the life we live in. Let's get to the content.
Going down this path. Now he's talking about F the police, F12. So, you know, it just, he.
The streets ain't talking about nothing else right now but the Harris family's nightmare. And this time it's not about flashy chains or viral Instagram lives. It's about survival inside the coldest place imaginable. King Harris, the son of rap legend T.I. and Tiny, is laid up in intensive care after a savage prison attack that's got the whole world locked in. The reports spilling out sound less like prison drama and more like a gangland thriller straight out of a movie.
So look, let's get up into this a little bit, just a little bit. Like, the system and the society know that that's T.I. They know that's his son. They know he didn't grow up in the streets like that. You know what I mean? So when we choose to take advantage of our own kind, it's like, come on, man, you like a bully. You know what I mean? If you got 2 or 3 people, even if you locked up, you know what I'm saying? And you taking advantage of the system, it's cool. You know, it's really cool. I mean, it happens all the time. I just would like to see that when you decide to take advantage of the youth, I mean, you doing what you're doing. Yeah, we know these kids is out of control, but 9 times out of 10, it's somebody older pulling the cards. And in that type of situation, yeah, you got to look at it like we playing chess. They got your knight, your bishop. So you got to figure out a counterattack. In T.I.'s defense, because I'm a father and I go through something similar, and I'm speaking because I'm in a similar situation, but he just haven't been locked up or put in that type of situation. But I just think that T.I. understand the streets. He know how I go. And if you go put yourself in this type of situation, be prepared to deal with battle. So just like you touching his son and you on the inside, let's find out who on the outside. See, the game changed when you got it like that. And touch on your peoples from the outside looking in and see how you like that. Because it's not hard for him to get the information on who is doing what and pulling what strings. It might cost him a little bit, but you know, at the end of the day, satisfaction might be guaranteed. You know what I mean? So there's 2 ways that this streak can go. Let's see how this go play out. Let's get back to the content.
The insiders, King was jumped in his block so viciously that guards had to drag him away as chaos swallowed the tear.
Steve Sadar reached out to me looking to make a deal on behalf of T.I. and Tiny. And I told Steve Sadar that my clients want justice. So if the deal involves Tiny and T.I. turning themselves in and admitting to the crime that they've committed, then fine, we got a deal. But if it does not, then I would prefer to have the investigators do their work and to bring criminal charges against Tiny and T.I.
His face swollen, body barely moving, and the whole prison erupting in a melee that left multiple inmates bruised and battered.
Now look at here. We look at King. Man, come on, man. I mean, look at the size of this dude. Like, in order for me to get that size, I had to lose weight, ride the bike. You know what I mean? Like, they just didn't grow up like that. I mean, daddy and mama not big people anyway, but I mean, for real, it's going to take 3 of y'all to, I mean, come on, man, have a little class about yourself. Where's the real gangsters at? You know what I mean? I mean, come on, man. Y'all most likely sound like y'all was trying to extort the people.
Wasn't no random brawl. Whispers already say this was a calculated hit, and the reasons behind it might be uglier than anyone thought. The talk inside those Georgia prison walls is chilling. This wasn't about some petty beef or routine test of toughness. It was a targeted ambush designed to break him down. Some inmates allegedly set him up weeks in advance, planning to humiliate him for what they saw as his constant flexing of wealth and privilege.
All right. There it is there. I mean, yeah, he got a little paper. I mean, he trying to hit the main line and you know, I mean, really technically we should have a little respect. I mean, you ain't got to take advantage of the weak, but people do. People been doing it, go do it, and continue to do it. So, you know, let's see how this turn out.
Claim it was meant as a brutal reminder that behind bars, your last name, your Instagram followers, none of that buys respect. Only loyalty and toughness keep you breathing.
Now listen to what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like they don't even care about his last name. But if his father choose to put them stacks up against them people families that touched his son, see, it's more than one way this story can play out. And that means he might not want it to be known, but it can happen. But you got your mamas, your baby mamas, your kids, and man, you just don't know what the way people thinking you touching that man kids, he might want to touch them. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. So, you know, I mean, we do understand that these kids is going through something first and foremost. Look at his son. I mean, the hair color, the chains around the neck, I mean, our society, we responsible for our own situations. We didn't raise them to be like this. They just choose this. I don't even know if this is some type of medical condition, mentally, physically, or what. But it's crazy. You know what I mean? It really is. And from a parent point of view, man, y'all don't even know what you dealing with until you in this position. Because we not nothing like that. He didn't raise his son to be nothing like that. They just somehow adapted to something like this is like some type of algae growing on our nation's minorities.
This makes you pray, one former inmate explained, and right now, King is learning that lesson the hardest way possible. As soon as the news broke, the internet exploded like wildfire. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, every platform lit up with reactions. Some people genuinely shocked and praying for the young man.
Man, look at that man's son, man. The man ain't holding, man, the man can't be no more than $150. I mean, it don't take 2 or 3 people to whoop on him at all. You know what I mean? If you go catch a fade with that, you can go and get line that up, head up. The way the man explaining it, man, 2 or 3 people lined him up, set him up. Like, come on, man. Y'all looking for a payday, which is understandable. You know what I mean? Y'all did better just asking. And I know he trying to prove himself being young, because that's what they do. But, I mean, evidently, they don't have what it takes mentally to understand what they dealing with. Let's get back to the content.
Mocking him, saying things like King finally met the real world and couldn't handle it.
So the real world, man, man, you know what I had to realize? I kept telling my son what it was like to grow up without a father. What y'all don't realize is they growing up with a father that's trying to avoid everything. So man, some days I wake up, I used to be feeling like maybe he should have grew up without a father. Maybe he would have looked at it a little different. But coming from a father's point of view, you like, man, you trying to really teach him what you've been through so he can understand what not to go through. But it's the opposite. They choose to lean towards the system and the streets and everybody. I do not know why they don't believe what we saying. Let's get back to the content.
Here are interesting, but I can't judge how the parenting is gone because
now this man saying the parenting. Man, come on, man. The man that been in the streets. We done been in the streets. We not pushing our kids to that, man. I don't care what you say. These kids, I mean, it's just a little different. And we need to figure out what it's going to take, because if any of those inmates is in a situation, they wouldn't want their kid in that situation neither. And if they did, something is wrong with them as parents. And most likely, some of them probably young lost their life because they did something stupid following somebody else. And that's usually what it is.
We've seen has been stuff that many of us would have said or similar if we saw our children do this. But I will say this. A lot of what's happening is because it's in the public. Like most children don't have to do this in the public.
That online divide only fueled the pressure on the Harris family, who insiders say are in full panic mode. T.I. reportedly hasn't slept since the attack.
No, really what it is these kids is growing up in an environment where they protected by their parents, which I'm part of that. We felt like we tried to protect them much as we can, and they got loose and they became part of society. They became what we didn't want. They didn't have a chance to see the parents doing bad, struggling, trying to figure out how to make it. That might be it. I mean, these are things that we working on daily because a lot of our kids just falling short, man. Especially the ones that's privileged, especially the ones that can make a change. You know, those that can go to school and be in an area where they ain't got to worry about being shot at, jumped cars, being cats pulling up on you, jumping out, getting, you know what I'm saying, rushing you, packing you out. I mean, all this has an impact. But yeah, you went to a good school and you did the right things. And I mean, that's what it's supposed to be for. Our kids is not supposed to think that that's soft for being intelligent and smart and wealthy. That just don't make sense to us.
Calling attorneys, politicians, and anyone with even a sliver of pull inside the Georgia Department of Corrections. One Atlanta source even claimed T.I. is willing to sign NDAs, cut checks, or make promises if it means getting King out alive before another strike lands.
I wouldn't be surprised, and they not saying it, and T.I. thinking it, but I wouldn't be probably surprised if T.I. start putting them racks up on these people's families. I mean, I hate to say that and be the one that speak for him, but y'all need to realize, man, you touching people's kids. So if you think it's cool to touch his kid, he might think it's cool to touch your kid and your family and your mama and your sister and your brothers. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your dirt. It's all good. You know what I mean? Hey, one favor deserves another.
Meanwhile, Tiny is said to be locked in her own war room, running point with publicists, media allies, and lawyers. But even their famously tight unity is cracking under the pressure. Insiders whisper their arguments behind closed doors are explosive, each one blaming the other for how their son landed in this nightmare.
I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for Family Hustle. Right. That does come with some, you know, it's some adversity. Mm-hmm. It's some adversity to come with that. People get in your business.
Yeah. Friends close to the family aren't sure if they're fighting for King's survival or just fighting each other. Either way, their son's life hangs in the balance.
Now, if you don't understand what people go through as being family or friends to those that made it, I mean, they go through a real struggle. I mean, I'm in a situation where I can see it clear as firsthand. I mean, if you have family that made it and people around you don't know how that feel, to be on that spotlight, they start judging you. They start putting you in a different position. You know what I mean? And you barely made it. You just lucky. It's like making it to the NFL, the NBA. Everybody not gonna make it. But if you got one group of people that make it, which is one family, then everybody else around got something to say. And it's sad because that's the whole goal, is to make it. That's the goal. So when you make it hard on them and you judging them and they came from the same place you came from, you got to look in the mirror, man. You really start saying you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So it's hard when you judging somebody else because by the grace of God, they got blessed to make it. And 9 times out of 10, most people that come into contact with them is benefiting off of their lifestyle. Straight up, it is what it is.
The foundation of their marriage starts to shake. The unshakable Harris dynasty looks like it's unraveling under crisis, and this time the stakes ain't about TV ratings or family pride, it's about life and death. What's making everything even murkier are the rumors flying left and right. Some whispers claim King got caught in a failed contraband deal gone sideways, that he either refused to play ball or tried to finesse the wrong crew.
I'm gonna stop this at this, man. These people gonna say what they gonna say, but you got to put yourself in both sides of the wall, on both sides of the fence. I mean, those who in there locked up doing bad, they pressing. T.I. might have felt like he didn't want to do nothing financially for these people. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of problems, a lot of bills, a lot of things going on. People don't even know what you're going through. They just assume. They really assume what they want to. They do not understand. You know what I mean? You got a family, you got extended family, you got bills, you got mortgages, you got taxes, you got a whole company to run. People just think you made a little bit of extra just to throw away. And it ain't always like that. So, I mean, it's understandable that y'all gonna try to count somebody's pockets from the outside looking in, but think about it. You're not in that position. You need to thank God that you ain't got to feed as many people as you got to feed. And if you are, and you did get locked up because you was out here taking your chances, okay, we all respect that. I done been through the situation myself. I done been locked up, and I done almost lost my life to the system. You know what I mean? Thank God that I'm blessed and I'm not in that position. But I had to go for what I knew for when I was in there too also. But I grew up under a different regime. You know what I mean? These kids was growing up. I knew once I went there, you got to do your push-ups, your sit-up. Before you even get there, you got to have your squabble game up. You know what I mean? These kids ain't even getting action at that. They not squabbling. They doing a lot of barking and busting and putting out them things. But at the end of the day, think about it. That's all they got up under their belt. Bodies from bullets. They don't got bodies. They don't got that knuckle game. So you taking advantage of them. Okay, we understand. Y'all been in there for a while. I mean, hey, it come with the territory. I'm out, man. This Power Rock Public Relations, man. This is what we do. We tapping in. We surfing the web. This is what we came up with, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll holler back.